And welcome back. Time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, it seems that the challengers to State School Superintendent Janet Barresi are really stacking up. Maybe you can give us a kind of a summary of what she's facing.
Yeah, we'll need to spend some more time on this because you've got 5 serious Democrats and then a serious Republican challenger. I think in particular 3 of the Democrats stand out, 2 for being very impressive for possibly holding the job. And those are Freda Deskin and Jack Herron. Miss Deskin, the head of the ASTEC charter school, very successful, acclaimed charter school, proving that public charters can work in Oklahoma. Urban education, very successful. Jack Herron, a former assistant superintendent of public instruction, and again, a quality person who brings a lot to the table, a lot of experience. And then there's Ivan Holmes, who is a strong partisan Democrat and will run that kind of a campaign, and that might help define some issues. So Superintendent Barresi is going to have a real challenge in front of her. The most interesting thing, perhaps, and this has gotten some recent media attention, is that her Joy Hofmeister, former member of the State Board of Education, past ally of Governor Fallon, has filed and in the past quarter raised more money than Barresi. Now Barresi, it was successful as a dentist, and she'll bring some resources to bear of her own money. And that may even that field a little bit, and of course she hasn't started approaching conservatives aggressively for their support. So this is going to be the future of public education, very specific things like the A to F rating of all the schools, which is very controversial. It came out this week. This is going to be a big fight.
This past week, you had the chance to interview Phylis Schlafly, the longtime conservative leader. She was in town for the Eagle Forum. Can you share some of her insights in the current policy and political scene?
It was a great interview. It was one of those that was very bracing because, man, that lady can pack into a 15-minute interview the equivalent of a book. She's very upbeat from the conservative perspective on both the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, and Common Core. She pointed to, very clearly the things going on right now with the Affordable Care Act and all the controversy and the mounting criticism even from some Democrats and from a lot of our colleagues in the national media as a reason she's upbeat, that can be reversed. She also is very fired up over the Common Core because she made a joke, for decades she had to make sure to invite people in order to get grassroots conservatives to meetings. Well, now she shows up and there's hundreds of people in the room ready to fight the Common Core. And that just made her hopeful and optimistic about a comeback, if you will, for conservatism, perhaps in the next presidential election and holding its own in the other elections. I didn't completely agree with her views on immigration, but they were certainly well stated, and they represent the views of, frankly, millions of Americans to have a very secure border and to avoid anything that even vaguely resembles amnesty. So it was a bracing time just listening to her talk, and got a couple of stories out of it that people can read on the website, Capitol Beat OK.
Okay, finally this week brought the annual induction of members into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. We know our own Gary England was one of those inducted, but you know 2 of the honorees quite well. Why don't you share some of your insights into them?
Yeah, it's an honor to be part of this season of the year for a lot of reasons, but particularly these 2 folks, and that's Russell Perry and Vicki Miles-LaGrange. Russell, the publisher of the Black Chronicle, the owner of the largest privately held broadcasting company in the country, for radio, based right here in Oklahoma City. And this was a man who really has been a friend to me and gave me some writing opportunities after I left the Oklahoman in 2002. Stuck by me. His friendship means the world to me. I honor him and his family for their involvement in the community. And finally, Vicki, all these firsts that Vicki Miles has accumulated in her career and in her life, U.S. Attorney, District Judge, before that serving in the State Senate. I've loved and admired her ever since we debated on opposite sides in high school in the David Hall versus Dewey Bartlett gubernatorial race. So I think a lot of her, she's been in my Hall of Fame a long time, and now she's going to be in the State Hall of Fame, and I just want to salute both of them, Gary, and all the rest of the honorees.
Very nice, thanks. You can read more about these and other topics at capitalbeatok.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.